Welcome back, my friends. It is January 8th, 2019, 10:52 p.m. And for those of you that live in Utah, wow, you've had three pretty significant earthquakes in the last couple hours. Also very shallow, 5.5 kilometers, 4.8 kilometers, 3.7 kilometers, the biggest of which being a 3.1. They're calling it 18 kilometers south-southeast of St. George, Utah. You can see here they are marked. They are all within a fairly tight grouping here. Technically, this is western Arizona, but these fault lines, as you can see here, the Washington, if I can get it right, Washington fault zone, the northern section, these fault lines run all the way up into the Utah mountains. Now, as these earthquakes were taking place, this pops up. These are avalanche warnings in Utah that literally popped up as these earthquakes were happening. I was watching this chart preparing a weather video because we have obviously this system leaving the northeast right now. Had a lot of people confused about this storm, so I want to keep this a separate video so I can explain what's happening here. And then we have this monster thing coming in from the west that is bringing a lot of rain to California and also is a snowmaker. So is this being caused by these earthquakes, or is this your typical caution for a snowstorm in the mountains of Utah from this system that is coming down from the west and Canada and out of the Pacific Ocean? I just find it very interesting that it was about a 2-hour period of time. Let's just check this out again. Very interesting. This stuff is just, the weather in this country and all over the world is just getting crazier and crazier by the day. And that's all I can really say about this. You could follow these fault lines. They go all the way up to exactly where this avalanche warning is, and that's in this area up here. Now, there is some confusion with this USGS site because a lot of times they'll give you mile markers that are in separate states than where the actual earthquakes take place. So, again, like I said, some of these are actually in western Arizona, which is just underneath Utah. So we have Arizona, and then we have Utah, and then Wyoming to the upper right of Utah. And then directly above Utah is also Idaho, and then we got Montana, and then the border of Canada there. But the main thing here is that these all happen so quickly and out of nowhere, and they're so shallow that is this being caused, or the avalanche warning, is that being caused by these earthquakes, or is that being caused by the possibility of that snow finally reaching that area? One thing's for certain is that 3 earthquakes back to back to back this shallow in Utah is not a common thing. Yes, there are fault lines all over the place here, but that's a little bit different. We also had an earthquake I'm sure a lot of you heard about. If this thing will pop up, there we go. In Mississippi at 3.7, that's fairly strong for that part of the country. And then, of course, the area of watch, which I watch very closely, as I'm sure a lot of you do, is an area in Alaska ever since that big Anchorage quake and the big one we had up here. This area is very concerning to me because a lot of the pressure transfer coming from here goes down in this direction. So once you see pressure transfer and you start seeing quakes here like we did the other day with that Oregon quake that was right off the coast here, and you start seeing them spread across the U.S., you know there's pressure transfer going on. And I'm sure a lot of you know there's much better websites to go to get your knowledge on earthquakes, but I love reporting on this stuff. Hopefully nobody was hurt or anything in these quakes, obviously, but to see 3 earthquakes, all the most recent too. If I refresh this website, you could see these are the most recent earthquakes above 2.5 anywhere on the planet. So 3.0, 3.1, 2.6, and these are... Oh, well, let me backtrack this site here. You can see this is the area we're talking about here. I'll click on that, and we'll take a look real quick. And these are the areas of watch right now in the Utah area. So if you're in Nephi, Provo, Park City, Salt Lake City, Ogden, Brigham City, Logan, any of these areas. I'm not sure why Wyoming is not part of this. As you see, the warnings actually extend into Idaho as well, and then it's almost like cut off right here in Wyoming. So very interesting. Very, very interesting situation, to say the least, guys, okay? So I just wanted to put that out there, let you guys know in Utah, if you haven't felt them yet, that you have some action going on underneath your feet at the moment. For all I know, there may have been 1 or 2 more since then. But really quick, before we let you go, let's just look at what's going on today with these 2 massive systems that we're going to be dealing with and have dealt with. You could see this one here finally leaving the northeast. That does not mean it's over, guys. You got to remember this counterclockwise rotation as it refreshes on cue. Every video I make, I swear, the screen refreshes on me. But as you can see, we have a counterclockwise motion going here. I'm going to do this really quick for those of you that are asking. This is the back end of the storm that we need to worry about. The front end of it is already exiting out into the Atlantic. It's this counterclockwise spin that's bringing the moisture back into the Great Lakes area and the Northeast. That's why we still have the winter storm warnings going on. Later, over the weekend, is when we need to watch out for this area here. We could be dealing with a major winter storm in these south central states, and that includes Georgia now. So Georgia, Kentucky, Tennessee, this whole entire area here. In fact, I'll just show you real quick. Why not? Let's look at it. You can see by the 11th, it starts forming. It's actually a separate system from the one that's coming in from the upper west here. This thing kind of brews over Mexico and then Texas. We spoke about Texas getting a little bit of severe weather from this, possibly. But you can see how that snow takes on shape right here. And that starts on the 11th. So this could be 3 days from now, guys. So we need to start preparing for a possible major snowstorm along the Ohio River Valley. That is alone very interesting to even talk about. And this is the last frame we have here as they're updating the charts right now. But again, I will have a full and detailed update on this situation, as it will be a situation, that is for sure. We got a lot going on in the world, guys. I hope everyone is safe. Wanted to get that video out to you. I may have another tonight. If not, tomorrow, absolutely. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope everyone in Utah is good for now. We'll talk soon. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.